Yep. Well, there you have it. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the most wonderful community in the whole planet, TNT Thursdays, where if you've got a voice and you've got a keyboard, we're going to be hearing it. And don't you? We're going to encourage you to come on board. Tonia Reeves, how you look at? You're looking absolutely amazing. You're looking radiant. You're looking gorgeous. You're like, tell us the secrets, Tonia Reeves, of how you've achieved this morning. And you always are like that. Let's just get that straight.
Extra special today because I've got red lipstick on.
Yep.
I went, you know what? The red lipstick, there's nothing else that works as well. And as I was saying to you, Tony, earlier, yesterday I whacked my head a couple of times, which is obviously someone trying to tell me something. And I wake up this morning a little bit with a bit of a headache. So I went, you know what? When you're feeling like you look a bit secondhand, the red lipstick will, just makes everything right. So that's what I've done.
It does look to work today. As Orla said to you earlier on, just before we got on, Karen, how are you, my friend? Good to see you on board. As Orla said just before we got on, at least, knocking your head a few times and being concussed, at least when the ambulance turn up, you look fabulous for them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they would say, there's nothing wrong with you. You look fine.
You look good. I know. Hey, so let's have a look at let's get out there and say hello to everybody on Facebook, TNT community. This is all about us, about having a chat and seeing what's going on in the world. Karen, what's going on in your world? Share with us. Give us your good, your bad, your ugly. It's been a crazy week. I feel better this week. I think men in general have been feeling better this week. Tonia, you can vouch for this. Guys have just had the shits in the last 2 months. I don't know why. I don't know why.
It's a mood. It's all the other stuff.
It is, but it's been lifted and now men are happy again. Men are happy. So women out there, celebrate the men's happiness instead of going, well, about time. Why are you always a grumpy bum? Don't drag us back into the vortex.
No.
Lift us out.
No one wants that.
Kerry Gibbs all over it.
Full moons. Go, Kerry. Yeah. We've got one coming up, I think, next week. There's always one coming up, or there's one that's been, isn't there? That's one guarantee with the moon.
Yep.
Just so funny. I've had a great week. I had a wonderful show on Tuesday night at our local crystal shop at Bezzy Aldo. I believe, I don't know whether Carly might have gone away. I know she's going to Queensland, but we had great fun. We had 20 amazing guests there, and it was a real buzz. So, I felt really honoured to be able to be a part of that, and I've had a lot of great feedback from it. So I was like, yay, love that.
Oh, I like that. I like good feedback, and it sounds like you had 20 good people there. It was fun.
Pete and Kylie were there too, and we had Pete's dad. Yeah, Pete and Kylie. And Pete's dad came through, and his brother came through, and apparently his dad's, rarely comes through. So that was exciting.
Wow. That's exciting. That's very, very exciting. Karen's got here big holiday dilemma to deal with. Karen, I'm glad you shared such an important thing on TNT Thursdays because that's what it's all about. Now, you've got Imundi versus Darwin.
Darwin. I'm screaming. Darwin's standing out for me, but...
Is it Edamundi or Umundi?
Umundi's beautiful too.
Yeah. Where is Umundi? I've never been. It sounds like
Umundi's near Noosa.
Oh, it's Noosa. Yeah, Umundi sounds like a record that was produced in the 70s that nobody ever picked up. Like you sort of heard of it, but it was like, funny name. Darwin, Karen, I'm with Tonia here. Darwin, you cannot beat Darwin as long as... Now, Tonia, you've been up to Darwin before, haven't you?
No, I haven't.
Okay, cool. Here you go. Oh, Jen, I'll get onto the knuckle things. That's quite clever. I'll even bring one out for you. Good question, Karen. Jen. So, Karen, back to you. So, check this out. You go to Darwin. You don't stay in Darwin, though. You use Darwin as a base, and you go out to Kakadu, and you go to the Olgas, and you go to all the most beautiful places around. You have to travel around about 300 k's, 200 k's every time, but Darwin's your base because really. I haven't been up there for about 4 years, but pretty much there's nothing else really around. So you've got to go out to places. I'll definitely do that. But it depends what kind of holiday you're looking for. Karen, are you looking for I want to get away and explore Australia, or do you want to go out there and just get on the piss? What do you want to do, Karen? That's the question you've got to ask yourself. 2 different locations serve 2 different purposes. if you guys have had any experience on either of them, help Karen out today on her dilemma.
I want to know what these knuckle things are. What are they?
I'll show you. You keep on talking, Tom. Talk about something spiritual.
We want to see them.
Okay, let me just. I'll get them for you and demonstrate.
Yeah, go and get them, please.
Keep on chatting, ladies. As you are. Darwin seems good.
Yeah, Darwin's a theme. So Jen's put here. Darwin seems to be the place to go at the moment. My cousins have had a few days up there and now got on the gun. Wow, that'd be pretty cool too. I just love Outback. So to me, I love Yamundi. That's awesome. The market there. I love Noosa. Probably I've done that a few times. So I'm a little bit like going, yeah, you go to Darwin because I haven't been there yet. But I've got friends up there and, you always hear great stuff. And the same with Yamundi as well. So, yeah. But I think, Karen, you're massively intuitive. So you'll go to Flight Centre and go, yep, I know exactly what I need to be doing.
Well, you have to be intuitive if you go to Flight Centre, do you? They normally tell you what's on sale. And I know where you're going to go, Karen, when it's cheaper. Don't fall into that trick, Karen.
You might end up at Uluru, Karen. You never know.
Uluru is beautiful. Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, today what we're going to introduce a great question here by Jen. Jen, thank you for this. What's a knuckle? So these are knuckles. These are little things here. They come in different colours, which is great. See how they're shaped.
Like noses.
They do look like noses. They look like they're definitely European noses, that's for sure. Look at that. Got nostrils and all. So yeah, they do come into. Okay, so this is basically what it is. Let's say, like Tonia, this, you've been for a massage or you've gone and seen a physio, right? You've had a treatment done before. Yeah. And what will happen is that the therapist will get in there and they'll do like a trigger point. So they'll get in there and they'll hold the pressure down and they'll try to release something there, right? Have you experienced that before?
Yes. Yep. Definitely. Yep.
Okay, cool. Now that's really, really great. And I can give you all the science behind why you hold a trigger point. But ladies and gentlemen, we're not here for that. But what happens is, imagine this. This is like a Dental ad. Remember Dental ads? Now, imagine this, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine if you could take your physiotherapist at home and have him on call all the time to feel that pressure point go away. Well, today you can with a knuckle. Now, the way a knuckle, I'm going to show you up against the wall how it works. So let's say if I've got a problem with my shoulder and I've got a trigger point I want to get rid of, what I'll do is I'll get my knuckle. But I'd normally do this on the ground. So what you do is you get your knuckle up against the wall, right? So you can see that. And then you get your shoulder in. And what you do is you just lean up against it and, that's just instant relief. So now I've got this knuckle that's here, that's pressing straight into that there. That hits the ground on the ground. What you can see is, so you've got a pointy end there, but it's not too pointy. It's like a thumb, if anything. Then you've got this base, which is really well proportioned. So it's in the shape of, for you spiritual guys, triangle pyramid sort of thing. So it's got a very, very, basically, it's a heart. So it's a very strong base. So I would actually say this, especially for your glutes. So I'm not going to show you my glutes, but right on top of that, a lot of good relief from a knuckle. So Jen, thank you for that question. It's basically self-care at home. And I strongly recommend these, because the hardest thing as being a therapist is that it's really interesting. This is the interesting thing, is the body's so intuitive, and it really is. Ton, have you ever had it where you've got an ache and pain and all of a sudden you start rubbing your shoulder or whatever it may be?
I've sometimes had a tennis ball because it, especially glutes, from riding and that kind of thing, and in the hip area. So sometimes I get like, and I want to ease that pressure. And so I get what you mean. So they would be fantastic. Yeah,
100% they are. We actually have spiky balls as well for that. Let me just show you this time, ladies and gents. You just go, okay, oh shit, Anne. Not even a high. And you just dropped the bomb on us. Okay, guys. So, Anne's like that person that rocks up to the party and just goes, right, I've got some bad news.
It's my auntie Anne. I love it.
Community. I'm going to go get a spiky ball. Jen, if you private message me, I can send you some through the mail. They're only $12 each, and then whatever postage is, I'm happy to mail them out to you, Jen. That's easy. Just send me a private message.
I need one too, so I think we need a link, Tony, set up so that we can all go and purchase them.
I don't have an e-commerce store yet. You just go to my website because they're normally for in-house purchases. I'll tell you why they're an in-house purchase, because I or myself like to demonstrate how it's used with the client. So a client will come with something specifically, and you go, okay, you want to use it here, here, here.
Mhm.
But let's get on to. I want to see the spiky ball, Susie.
Yeah,
I'm
where's
getting
the spiky ball?
okay.
Can you see the spiky ball? And then in the meantime, I'll bring Anne's comment
Hannah.
up.
Yes,
All right.
and great question. I love it too, by the way. Okay, spiky
Okay,
ball.
snake at the front door. Come on, all our spiritual. I was going to say people. No, not people. Everyone that connects in with snakes or animal totems and that kind of thing would love your input. Snake to me is all about transmutation. I wish I had Scott Alexander King's book here so I could just quickly look that up for you, Auntie Anne. But to me, a snake is about a bit of transformation, and being on your front door, it's like an opportunity to change things and almost like a very strong form of healing. And being on the front doormat, I feel, is a positive thing. Like if it was rising up and having a go at you and you know, it was
Ooh.
sort of a bit aggressive, then you might look at that a little bit different. So it'd be interesting to see, Anne, what it was doing. Was it just sitting on the doormat? Susie's got a great one here. Depends on the vibe of the snake. Can be medicine. Yep.
Yeah.
Medicine
you know
is very
what?
powerful.
Because if you have a look at, there's always the medical symbol where it's got the two snakes going up a staff like that, which means medical. Susie, I like where you go. Susie, can you expand a little bit on that? Because that's really quite interesting. How you've come up with and that now it's got two different meanings, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, Anne, why do you do this for us, Anne? Now I want to know what's going on in your life. Is somebody ill? Is there damn you, Anne? You ask these simple, subtle questions, and I'm intrigued now. You've got me hooked, all right? Just tell us
Now,
what is
in the
going on in your
meantime,
life.
while people are posting on that, we want to see the spiky ball, please.
Spiky balls. Okay, spiky balls in an array of different colors. Great. Like if I want to match my glasses, where am I? Just there.
Yep.
See that?
Yep.
If I want to do contrast to my glasses, I can do that.
Oh, I like
now,
the
spiky
aqua.
ball is good. Now, Tonia, this is as you were saying before. So with your glutes, so a spiky ball is really good. It's got think of it like if you look inside of a golf ball where it's pretty much cork and a bit of the thread wrapped around. This is pretty much it. So it has a little bit of give, but not too much give. So it doesn't dig into your skin. And the idea of the spiky ball is that you lie on top of it. So you may get it. So it's really great to put into the back of your shoulders on places that you can't reach, right? So I would say back of shoulder, you lie on it and then you go around. On the glutes, this is where, honestly, this is payday. This is where you get it and then you just get even that. I am just enjoying that. That is, if I had to be doing
way better than a tennis ball.
Much better than
way
tennis
better.
ball. Look at it. And if I had to choose doing this or going, to, let's say, a movie and dinner, I'd most probably pick the spiky ball. That has given me more relief than anything else. That is brilliant. So, spiky
we
balls.
all want a spiky ball and a knuckle.
And a knuckle. That's right. And look at that. Look at those two colors just matching. Pick your own spiritual colors. You might want to go with something like what your star sign is. What's your birthstone? Go with those colors. I don't look. Whatever it takes to sell these things, I'll roll with. Okay.
Well, you've just sold 10 of them on here.
I know.
We all want one. We all want a spiky
ball
and a knuckle.
And a knuckle, yeah, they are, and they're really cheap. Seriously, Ton. These are $12. These are $14.95. They are dirt cheap for the relief that you get from them. They are. Yeah. That's where they're really, really value. Do you do opal? I wish I did do opal. I'll tell you what. Just top up my opal card will be fine. But do you do opal? Do you mean as in the color, as in a mixture of? I lost that in translation. But let's get back to our snake conversation. I'm more pressing.
Yeah, so very interesting. Like Susie said, come on, Anne, we need to know what was the snake doing. We need a comment thrown up there. Yeah. I look at snakes as healing. I actually really love snake energy. So for me, it's I don't look at snakes as a negative. I don't fear snakes. So for some people, snakes are a bit of fear. And I do remember Scott did a great talk, and it'll be on YouTube somewhere, about snake energy and how people that fear snakes, totally fear them. There is a reason for that. And he also explains that it's about healing. You're doing some healing on yourself. So when you fear something that's that powerful, that has that much ability to heal, it's almost like you need to dive deep into that. And it was really fascinating. His talk, he explains it way better than me. But but his talk was very then he's just the way he explains it. Scott's the animal person, but here we go. Anne's responded here. So he was curled up on the mat, really quiet till I spoke to him. Then he wiggled away, then eyed me and struck. So he actually bit you, Anne. Is that what you're saying? Which doesn't always mean a negative thing too. This could be about needing some healing.
And what did you say to the snake? Did you annoy the snake in your dream? Like, what if you said to a snake for it to go away and then, I'll have a bite at this woman? It's not a good thing. Look, I fear snakes. I'm with Jen on this one. Jen says I do. They make my skin crawl. The same here. I don't like it, so I'll have to get in touch with Scott. But in saying that, what is it? Yeah, Scott Alexander King, right?
Yeah.
That's who we're talking about. Scott said that my partner Orla is a white python.
Ooh.
Get into that later.
That's awesome. And that's rare. That means she's rare.
I think I did. I think I do fear her now. I fear my partner. What have you guys done?
That means you need to revere her because she's white. That means she's rare. She's special.
Fuck, she's scary though. I didn't know I was scared of her. So let's see what Susie's got to say. By the way, I'm loving the comments.
I love this. Susie's got here, what you said, Tony, the medicine is a symbol. According to Scott Alexander King, transmutation, renewal, shedding skin, maybe releasing and letting go. Front door welcoming change, fear of change. And she agreed with part what I shared as well. So there's something around this releasing and letting. There's an opportunity, Anne, is what I feel with this snake. It is a sign of an opportunity to look at things differently and almost like letting some stuff go. Like Susie said, I love what Susie shared there, like a change. Annoying the snake, perhaps you were confronting a change. I love that.
Yeah, Susie, you've got some good insights there. I really like it.
I love it. I love, I always gain so much knowledge with everyone sharing on here. And it doesn't matter whether you're advanced in the spiritual thing or it's just your take on it, because, it's often important to remember that our take on things can be just as important, and we need to put as much relevance to that as, even reading Scott's book, say, because he's got his interpretation, and yes, he is, that's his thing, but we also need to check in with ourselves and go, how do we feel about it? Like what came up for us in that dream?
Yeah, they're good insights, aren't they? They really make you look internally. Anne goes, just to say quick, because I did question you, Anne, sorry. I hope you haven't good giggle, by the way. I said, what did you say to the snake?
She will.
I asked them, what did you say to the snake to annoy it so it goes away? She goes, no, I was too quick. Yes, I did annoy him. So no, you didn't get bitten by the snake, but it did strike at you. Is that correct?
Okay.
But you were like, you use your Spider-Man too quick reflexes. I like that, Anne. Well done. I knew they'd come in handy one day, especially in a dream, those reflexes. But you did annoy him. What did you do? I got to know. What did you do to annoy Snake?
She opened the door and he was just there. He's probably having a sleep.
Yeah, Jen's got something
interesting. I like Jen's too. This intrigues me. My belief is if it attacks you, then someone around you who is nice to your face isn't so nice to your back. And recall her dad saying a snake in the grass. So that absolutely, Jen. I think that's a good perspective too. And that would make you question and go, okay, Annie, is there someone around that maybe you're a bit suspicious of, or feeling a little bit like someone is nice to your face, but So that's another perspective too.
I like it, Jen. That's pretty. Now we've flipped it around from, hey, it's a really cool snake, and let's look at something. You're like, no, it's somebody who's going to stab you in the back. I love it, Jen. Just flipped it straight out. And if you're no wiser by the end of this conversation,
don't hold us accountable. No, it's
it feels like sometimes these conversations is. I remember we sat down with an accountant once, and we were just trying to work out what the best business structure, this, that, the other. The guy gave us about 52 different options. We were more confused than when we walked in, and we're like, what do we do now? And I just feel like these conversations sometimes get there. I go, no, it means this. No, it means that. It means like, and all right, just keep it coming. Like we'll get you sorted. We'll get to the bottom of this barrel one way or another. But no, I absolutely love it. Hey, good old Shelby's on board. How are you, Shelby?
Hey,
Good to have you on board. Now, Shelby, is she in Tasmania yet, or is
yeah?
where?
So Shelby's
where are
with
we at?
Auntie Anne. Shelby and Auntie Anne are together. That's
Cheers to you.
That's interesting. So, okay, Anne was out and came home to see him there. Interesting.
Oh, okay, Jen, flip on that one. Let's see what happens there. How is Tassie going for your Shelbs? I hope you're enjoying it down there. Do share. Tell us what's going on there. Give us a Tasmania update. That would be good.
Yeah, and Jen's done a great there. Something will resonate with you. I feel that's what will fit. Who are you out with?
Yep. Yep.
So Anne and Shelby are living their best life together at the moment. Shelby's staying with Anne until she gets her permanent accommodation. So she's having fun. And really, it's as cold here in Victoria as it is in Tassie. So you're not missing much, Shelbs.
Yes. She goes, it's so good here. I started referring to the rest of Australia as the mainland or the Northern Island. The Northern Island is another one that I quite like down in Tasmania. They go, have you been to the Northern Island? Australia.
That must be a new version.
Yeah, it's pretty. I heard that a few times in Tassie. I thought it was the quirkier Taswegians that actually came up with that one, which I found quite clever and quite hilarious. Actually, when I heard it, I still find it. Yeah, I might even have a chuckle over that one. But let's have a look. So let's get. Are we going to explore more spirit animal stuff, or where are we at this morning on a Thursday morning, ladies and gents? Where are we at? Where's our curiosity taking us? Like anything?
Absolutely.
I'm happy to stay with the animal stuff. I mean, like energy feels like a lot better this week. It feels like it's a lot freed up. There's not as many, bless you. Yeah, look, here you are. Jen, it's beautiful Sundays. I'm in North and we are Anne and Shelby. Where are they?
Launceston, Jen, so not far from you.
Lawny.
I would imagine.
Yep.
Prospect or around Prospect, I think. I'm really good at geography.
No, that's okay. That's fine. They're near Perth. There you go. Perth's a great place up near Launceston. But yeah, look, it's been interesting.
Hey, it's really interesting because just talking about animals, we've had the neighbours' cows coming in, and this guy doesn't look after his cows that good. So they come in and they've been eating my hay. So I buy the hay for my cows, and then the next morning I get up and there's his cows that are wild. You can't catch them, and they're eating my hay. And I'm like,
yep.
So again, that's could be referred to as somebody taking something, or because they come in, they're taking what isn't theirs. And I was quite annoyed at it because I'm like, God damn it, they're wrecking my hay. And then I went, you know what, I need to release it and say, look, they're getting food.
That's true, but can you charge
I was getting angry.
Like, does the farmer pay you to have the cows on your property?
No, they're half wild, so they just jump. They've jumped into the neighbour's paddock and then they've jumped into our paddock. So they've gone again at the minute. So I don't know whether I've tried to message and say, please take your cows or I'm going to charge you for the hay. So hopefully he might respond to that.
Yeah, he'll get that. He'll understand. He'll go, yeah, for sure. Anne says her young sister has a different meaning on what snakes mean. Tonia, you might want to share this one. Anne.
My younger sister says snake that needs I'm needing sex, but I don't think so. Well, unleash the snake within.
Yep, exactly. As you know, what was I think? Jen said it really well before. She goes, where is it? Something will resonate with you, and I feel that it fits for you. So, well,
you can't discard the fact of what feels right, Annie. So, with all these interpretations, that you need to tune into what feels right for you. And there's been some great comments here. Susie's put some great ones in, and so's Jen. So it's really about what resonates. And I don't know if anyone else has had dreams of animals or experiences of animals recently. It's just interesting how, we're all sharing. Susie wants me to
Do you
send
know
the wild
what?
cows to her house.
Here you go. This is a really, I know Susie's on there. This is an interesting. I'm not going to name names, but I've got a very good friend of mine, and unfortunately, her beautiful dog passed away. A really important family member, very, very, great dog. Anyhow, and she's devastated, as you can imagine. And she has had this amazing, and she goes, it's weird, and she's told a fair few people, so I'm not talking out of school here. She's had this interesting experience, check this out, with a fly. And what happened was she was sitting at a kitchen table and this fly came down. She tried to shoo the fly away and not hitting it, but just brushing above it, and it wouldn't move. And basically, she was like, oh, okay, this fly's not moving, and somehow got into almost a bit of a conversation. And then she put some food on the table, like just a sugar cube or something, like a little bit. And the fly came up and started eating it. And then she had it in her hand, and the fly would sit on its hand and eat out of her hand. Now, this is a fly, mind you.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible.
Now, she does not, she's, when it comes to spiritual things in nature, she's not, I wouldn't say she's against it. She's just not that experienced around it. Let's just say it that way.
Yeah.
She's starting to think, oh, is there something out there? But this fly's come back a few times now.
Yeah.
It's day after day. And
these are the things, and that's what I say to people. As humans, we disregard it, but if spirit comes in to connect, we have to be open to every single possibility. Otherwise, we miss it. And and I feel right now there's a real current energy for people to switch off being distracted and focus on what is important, and that is being present and taking notice of things. And I will often encourage this when I get, we have groups that gather, and I say to those that really want to amplify their spiritual gifts, and we all have them. Like, there's no one that doesn't have them, but we need to be present. So we need to be noticing what we hear, noticing what we see, noticing what we feel. And when we are distracted, we're not doing that fully. So I do feel there's a real wave happening at the moment where people are being pulled to be more present and be more in that moment rather than in the next moment or living in the past moment.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting. But, and this is maybe a Scott question or maybe even a Nick question, because Nick does a lot with animal healing.
Yeah, he does. Yep.
That he really looks at connecting. And I thought of Nick the other day, actually, when my friend was telling me this. And she was trying to work out what was the significance. What was it? Her dog
visiting,
to communicate to her, or what was it? But what it has done, which is really interesting, is open up the possibility of another realm existing.
Yeah, and that is ultimately that is the prize. Like, that is to be able to be open to that and see something like the fly. She could then, she can then call that fly in and connect to her animal and really test it out, and they'll prove it. So there's things where it's like, okay, come back again, and it'll happen, and that's how simple it is. But animals are an amazing sign. We traveled to Hay last weekend, and there was
that's right. How was that?
Yeah, that was awesome. We had hawks, so many hawks, like massive, because traveling up there it's all flat. So you can see the animals, and there was a massive, massive big eagle. But I was looking out here, and Andrew's like, oh my God. And I just saw, it was that massive on the side of the road. I just saw like one wing as we went past, and I was like, holy hell, that was massive. And
Did you freak out?
Yeah, because I was like, why didn't you stop? Because they're great because if you stop next to them, they can't just, because they're so big, they don't just get up and fly. It takes them a while, so you can actually enjoy the majestic energy of them. I was like, next time you have to stop.
Nice.
And of course, we didn't see another one, but the hawks were incredible. Like, there was so many, like the goshawk, so the smaller ones, and obviously they're finding rabbits and things, but you could see like a few of them, and then the emus. It was the wildlife was incredible.
Yeah, that sounds pretty incredible. Look, Bronny Island here. Now, Bronny, what a beautiful, beautiful name. Even if that's a Facebook fake name, I would change it for good. What a great name, Bronny Island.
No, I know
Beautiful
Bronny.
name.
That's her name.
Well done. You've done well in this lifetime, Bronny. Let me tell you that much. You scored a good name. Do you want to read out Bronny? Bronny sounds like she's got a bit of a connection here with animals.
I had a random duck appear in my yard. Now, Bronny's mum is an animal whisperer as well, so there's no surprises here for me, Bron. Duck appear in a yard 2 years ago that no one owned up to, and we still have it. Animals always make their way to my house. Recently, I had a random young rooster that would run past my window same time every morning. No idea where it comes from still. So, the rooster would be a sign 100%, Bron, to go, look into the spiritual meaning, or even, setting the intention to say, is that one of my ancestors coming in, running past? I love it.
Yep, absolutely. And you know what, Bronny, I don't know about you. You know how you said, random ducks appeared in my yard 2 years ago. No one owned up to them. Are you sure? Like, because I did this as a kid, Bronny, you might have done this. We actually went to the markets, right? I was about 12 years old and I had about $7 on me. And somebody was selling these baby ducklings, right? So I could get 2 for $7, which was great. So mum and dad never saw this coming. I didn't know I was going to get baby. I didn't go out to the markets thinking I'm going to go buy ducks today. It was just like, oh, how cute are these? And they were in the pond and everything like this. And I brought them home. Like, hey, look what I got. Mum and dad had a heart attack. And it was funny. I almost went down your path. I don't know where they came from, but since they're here, hey, we might as well keep them. And dad had to build this little duck emporium, which would have cost him, like about $500 back in the days. He had to build a little pond. We had my guts for it, but hey. And then one day the ducks went missing, Bronny. So maybe that's what happened. Yeah, I don't know how they got there. That your story, and that's what I want to know. But I like how you've got a random young rooster. Now that's does Bron live in suburbia or country Victoria?
Well, it's country. It's up towards our way. You would class it as kind of country area. So, yeah, but that's pretty cool. Like, I mean, and all of these things, and possibly, if you're listening today, this show is all about looking for signs, which Jen here has shared too.
Oh, is it?
Is that what today's about? Animals are signs, so we're obviously
all the email. When did this become about signs? All right, sure. It's about animal signs. I'm cool with that. Actually, it is because Anne started us off quite well. Go on, let's have a look. Susie goes, I had magpies sing through one of my I rest meditations.
Beautiful.
They are medicine elders, wise ancestors. Okay, cool, interesting. Sorry, good point there, Susie. Go on. Hey, Tracy, how are you?
Tracy's put here the last few weeks a pair of wedge-tail eagles and also a pair of sea eagles have been flying over us. Always gives me a lift. They are huge, magnificent beasts. Yeah, I love that. Like, I'll often look at, when I do readings, even if it's online, I'll look out the window and we get eagles here. So often, for the most part, you do see 2, but on the odd time you will see 1. And if I'm about to do a reading and there's 2, usually that will be like there's a couple or, someone I'm reading for, there's 2 people that are soaring. So it's almost like the journey is for the 2 of them at that point in time to soar. And if there's 1, then usually that means there'll be 1 person that's possibly on their own and it's their time to soar as well. And I love eagles. And when you look at it, eagles see so clear.
I like that,
Yeah. And if you look at eagles, like they can see, like you look at how high up they are and they will notice a rabbit or, they look for their prey. So their vision is very clear. So eagles are a great one because from great heights, they can see very clearly. So if you get the eagles come in, to me, it's a great sign of seeing things clearly and being able to rise above things and soaring. When you look at them, they don't move their wings. They're just, they're magnificent in their movement. So it's always, to me, eagles are a great sign. Love eagles.
Yeah, love it. And look, and Tracy feels like there's a connection there for her as well. So Tracy, thanks for sharing that. That's pretty cool. So there's just something about it that, as she says, they give her a big lift and there's got to be that connection. Whereas other people might look at a bird or an eagle or whatever and go, whatever it is. But there's something that resonates with you, which is pretty cool. I like that.
Absolutely. Susie's put here, Michael Lugnig I think, I don't know how to pronounce that. Says in one of his summer poems, we get allocated a fly for summer. I now welcome my fly.
Ooh.
That might be a way of finding peace with flies if they annoy you too.
Susie, this is you've given us some good information here. I like that. I'll pass it on to my friend. We get allocated a fly for summer. Geez, that's pretty. That's gonna resonate with her. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's actually a fly for winter.
Yep.
Sam, love animals. My friend has had mudlarks flying around her, making themselves known. They really want her attention. See, and that's the thing, when you get the birds and that really showing up, like birds are great messages. And I look at it, they're an example of freedom. When you look at birds, don't come here to learn anything. Like they don't need to learn anything. So they just come to experience, what they do. And I believe they're messengers for us. I really do.
Okay, that's an interesting way. Yeah, I mean, like, there's not much that a bird's going to really learn. It's like, yeah, I get it. No, that's pretty cool. Hey, Jen's got an interesting one. Yeah. Do you want to go with that one?
Jen lost her brother 16 years ago. My sister had an owl on her back fence the day that he passed. And then an owl appears, had seen one for a long time, went to the East Coast, and an owl was sitting outside their room. See, I love that.
Wow.
Love that. Like, so that's, and that will be a sign. There's always, when we are consistent with what we're looking out for, it's a little bit like my mum, like the butterfly is a symbol. She sort of shared that with me, not long after she passed. So I know when there's that butterfly, and often it'll be a random, not even the time of year for a butterfly, and it'll be flying past the window. And I'm like, hi, mum. Like, and I connect to mum regularly anyway, but it's just that reminder, and that connection. So I feel like every spirit can have an animal. And if you ask them to show you, if you're not sure, say, okay, you set that intention of, I want to connect with a grandmother. Please show me the sign that is going to represent you. And they will. You just need to be observant.
Yeah, I love it. Thanks for that, Jen. That's, and I'm sorry to hear that your brother did pass away 16 years ago. That's always a tough one. That's very tough. But I like to see how an owl's become quite symbolic for you. So that's pretty special. That's a nice share. Thanks for that one. Sam, good to see you on board too. Throw us some more stuff. Susie goes on. Go on.
That is a gorgeous eagle interpretation, Tonia. My sister says eagles just dodge the niggly naggling of the little birds. They don't let the little things get to you. So true, because you see the eagles, often the little birds are there trying to, annoy them, and they just kind of go, yeah, whatever. So yeah, I love that's another great one. See, I've learned that today. I love it.
Yeah, it is a good little one. I've never looked at it that way, Susie. Thanks, that. And she goes, my snake dream has opened up a can of worms. And this is our crazy community. Like somebody just drops the bomb and we just run with it. Okay, cool. Let's talk about dreams and what animals mean and all that. No, thank you.
Absolutely. It's great. We love it. This is what content's all about.
Yep.
Oh, there you go. So yeah, Jen says we've got 3 different types of birds. When they're hitting windows, that means you need to take note of something. So
you've had 3 different. Tonia, you've had it. What does it mean? I'm intrigued. Like Jen, this is a really good one. I like you. We have 3 different types of birds specifically around our house most of the year. They keep hitting our bedroom window. Hey, they're not that smart, because if they keep on doing it, sorry, Jen, it's just dumb birds. If they haven't worked it after the first hit, geez. However, that's not the point of today's conversation. And the tree they land in reflects in our window. What's it mean? G'day, Anne. How are you? Yeah, let's open this up.
Well, to me, okay, if we look at it, if we break it down to simplify, and I like to simplify things. I'm, very much keep it simple, stupid, because that's me. Because otherwise, too much information, I can't, take it all in. But to me, birds are messengers. If they're hitting windows and not, hitting into things, that is a sign that you're not taking on their messages. So, even, and that was a funny one when I did the podcast with Chezzy and Grant Denyer, and I'd I'd sent them an email reading, and I said, there's birds around, and they're hitting things. That was showing me not just hitting things, like lots of birds smashing into things. And it turned out they'd had like 17 birds smashing into windows. And
Wow.
and it was spirit going, you're not listening, you're not paying attention. And Grant knew exactly what it was about. And so it was just me, confirming that to say, hey, you're not listening. They're showing you the signs, and there's something you're missing. So,
Oh,
Jen,
Jen, what are you not listening to?
yeah.
Jen, back to you. I like that interpretation. Thanks for that one, Ton. So, Jen, let's have a look at you. What are you,
Yes,
what are you listening?
Avichka, we're talking animal meaning, so I'd love your input here.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Avichka, g'day. How are you? Great to have you on board too. Let's have a look here. When the birds hit the window, that means stop washing your hands. What, Susie? What are you just? My head's just gone boom, like on that comment. You got to continue that one. That's just like Susie. Honey, it's 10:14 on a Thursday morning. You have not been having any whiskey this morning, so I've got to work this one out. Tom, please, everybody, just enlighten me. I'm having a struggle, mate. When birds hit the window, it means stop washing your hands. Oh, stop washing your windows. Oh, sorry, I thought hands. I've just had a whiskey. There you go. Boom.
Tony's just taken that to a whole nother level. I love it.
Sorry. Yeah. That is quite funny, though. Oh, that room. The lower bits leave up the upper windows.
It just means that the windows are a bit shiny and they don't know they're there. It's the logical human bit,
I thought the same, Susie. Thank you. That was that. Thank you for allowing me to have a brain fart. That was great. It happens.
Avichka, yes, we've actually been referring to Scott. So throughout this conversation, so yes, he's definitely high up there. I love his book, and I'll often pick up the book and I'll find it. Auntie Anne, I don't think has a copy. I'll find the snake aspect and send it to you.
I wonder how Scott's son doing. Good on. It's Oscar, isn't it?
Oh, Oscar's been sending me photo. Like, he does artwork of dinosaurs. Yep. He's a dinosaur guru.
He's still on that, because when I only met him the one time, and he was absolutely, this kid is just a beautiful soul, and he just knows everything about dinosaurs. He knows every different type. He'll go to the museum and just name them all, and he's just got this amazing fascination, a beautiful fascination with dinosaurs. And I just love where he's coming from. He's a fascinating kid to sit down. He's a good laugh too, actually. He is. Very, very funny as well.
But, he's the best. He's very talented, just like his dad. It's like,
yes,
he's so much like his dad. And he helped me. He was my runner for one of the shows that I did, and he was hilarious. And I still have people come up to me because he was handing out my cards to everyone. He gets out there. Like, this was, I don't know, how old would he have been? Like 12? I'm trying to remember.
When I met, about that,
yeah.
And right.
And he was just a gun. And I still have people come up and go, that little boy, he gave me a card. So they remember, people remember someone like that who's such a special soul.
Here you go. Sam's got something here. Sam Swift, you always give us a great little gem of wisdom here, and a great little story. She goes, I had a kookaburra visit me for a period of time. I asked him to leave me a feather with blue in it. When his job was done, I still have the feather. So this kookaburra, let me get this apps. I've already had a brain fart before with Jen, I think it was, and got that one, or Susie. No, it was Susie. Just like, I want to make sure, Sam, I've understood this correctly. You're having a chat with a kookaburra that came and visit you, right? Then you have a chat to the kookaburra, go, hey, do you mind if you leave me a feather with blue in it? And the kookaburra did, and then left. Is that what happened?
Yeah, well, basically, see, birds are messengers. So Sam set the intention that when he delivered his message and the time for him to move on, that he just leaves her a feather. So that's what he did. So it's fascinating. And you can do that. You can say to them, hey, do this, and they will.
Yeah.
And it just proves, what a sign it is.
It is a sign. And Sam, is the kookaburra been back? Or is it still like, is that where you guys left it off at? Like, it was like, yeah, sure, here you have a feather with a bit of blue in it. I got to go now. And
he's having
the same chat with somebody else.
Yeah. Avichka, each animal has a message and spiritual meaning. It's so her thing. All right, Avichka, we've got a snake on the front doormat. That was, if you go back to Anne's message early on, that's where we started. So throw your interpretation up there, because we love to, we're just dissecting it and giving Anne a lot of feedback on what our interpretations are.
Yep.
I love Jen. Tony, I love you. Are so confused and mind blown at the same time. He does that so well, Jen, doesn't he? Like, he just, we can see your brain going.
Do you know what, Jen?
Here, but I'm over there.
There's not much going on in this head. You know what it sounds like in my head, Jen and Tonia, you're right. It's like a squash court, like 4 big concrete walls, and there's like an empty tin can. It just keeps on going ping, 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 and that's pretty much it all. And so to get confused is pretty easy. Let me just tell you. Welcome to my head. That's what happens a lot of the times.
Hey, also, just to digress for a minute, because again, my brain does that a bit too. And Sean's here, like, yeah, I can see that, Tony. Yeah, it's so obvious, Sean, isn't it? It's like we can see where your brain's going.
Yeah.
Is anyone from Sydney here? Anyone that's going to the surf to coast?
No, city to surf, you bloody country hick.
Sydney to
surf. The biggest iconic, Sean, good to have you on board, by the way. City to surf is the most iconic run in Sydney that you'll do. It goes from the city of Sydney, the middle of in the CBD, to Bondi Beach. So city to surf. So it's a beautiful run. It's 14 kilometers. Yes, that's anybody's doing it. Let me know.
So if anyone is doing it, Tony, the Human Repair Shop have free T-shirts that you can jump on board and grab one and do that walk or run. You don't have to run it, do you?
No, we're walking it. Look, it's just something that Orla and I thought of. Look, this is totally Susie. She was a hick there. Like, how do you get city to surf wrong? You might as well say, like, from paddock to barn. Do you know what I mean? Like, really?
Paddock to stable.
Susie, that's what I'm at. Okay.
I love it.
No, we said, look, one of the, like, for Orla and I, it was just a bit of a, let's do something, let's get fit. And we always know an event does that. So City to Surf's perfect. We've got a fair few clients doing it now. We thought, why don't we do it? And I said, I ain't running no 14 kilometers because them running days are over, folks. Them running days are over. But walking 14 kilometers, now let's entertain that idea. And Orla goes, yeah, let's walk it. So we ended up ringing up her niece and nephew, a 10 and 12-year-old, and we said, you know what, do you guys feel like walking the city? And it's huge. There'll be 100,000 people there, I'm guessing. It's very, very big. And there'll be like a whole lot of, it will be a very festive sort of atmosphere where there's bands playing and everything along the way. And we said, why don't we walk it with the kids? And the dad's going to come along as well now. And I said, well, why don't we just invite the community? Whoever wants to walk 14 kilometers with us, come along. We're going to get T-shirts printed up, the Human Repair Shop. We're going to get a quirky little slogan on there. I don't know what it is yet. I've got to design it today. And we just said, if you want to come walk with us, we'll give you a free T-shirt. Hang out and have a chat and just, do it. Walk 14 Ks and get a medal at the end of it, really. That's all you get. Yeah. So it's cool. So that's just community events. So that's where
we need something funny on the T-shirts. That would be cool.
Yeah, so look, it's hard to get really funny. It is. We'll come. So if there's any good quirky suggestions, send them out to us. We're definitely going to be open to them. We'll be very, very good. But Avichka's got Avichka's going thumbing
Here
through.
We go, Annie. Here we go, Anne. This is pretty cool.
Well done, Avichka. Good research. You would make a very good research. I'm going to say the main research person, but a great research assistant because you've got a reference point. Let's go for it.
Okay, Avichka shared here for you, Annie. Snake energy, shedding skin and old ways and versions of yourself. Inner transformation is needed or is on its way. Love it.
Shedding, yeah. Okay, yeah. There goes that tin can again. Just ting, ting,
there we go. Yeah, that's capturing a lot of what's already been shared, which is great confirmation.
Yep. So she goes, I like Avichka. I like your snake energy. All
Yeah.
right, that's how I picture you would have said it too, Avichka. Shedding skin and old ways and versions. Oh, damn, she
Yeah,
took it
I
away.
always look at snakes as transformation. Yeah.
Yeah, you were saying that earlier. That's
Mm.
yeah.
I think they're a good thing. So yeah. I like Susie's slogan, we know where we are. We know where we are. We aren't bloody country hicks.
Yeah.
I love it.
Susie. You actually, Susie, why don't you? I'd love it if you came up to Sydney and we could do the city yourself. You'd love it. 14Ks. Do you know what? It is pretty beautiful. If you haven't really checked out Sydney before, doing the city yourself, walking it, you get to see some of the most beautiful parts of Sydney. And you go up along like Double Bay and up this hill called Heartbreak Hill, which is absolutely huge. But when you get to the top of Heartbreak Hill, you get the most majestic view of Sydney, the Opera House, the Harbour Bridge, the harbour itself. It's just absolutely beautiful. Susie, come on down.
I love that. I need shirts made with that, Susie, I think.
It'll be quite funny though. I just need a
be.
t-shirt big enough, Susie. That's all.
I like Jen's. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes. We got you covered.
Oh, that's clever.
That is clever. I love
Jen,
that.
I like that a lot, actually.
That is great. That's gold.
I like that, Jen. That is bloody brilliant. That is. Thank you. Nate, your creative juices are flowing well today. I want a t-shirt. Absolutely. If we go with that one, Jen, you're definitely getting a t-shirt.
Susie said I would have to limp at my Achilles is rebelling against.
That darn Achilles. It's one of the Achilles tendon is a burden for many of us. Let me just tell you that. Yes, you got to look.
So we're coming up. Come up, throw some slogans out there. I love Sam's. Know when to walk away, know when to run.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah.
You know what? You could actually have a mixture, Tony, couldn't you? Like, could you do a run of a couple of different slogans? They all have.
Mate, how big do you think my budget is, Tonia? Do you think I'm like ACDC? We go, I was at 48 different shirts, and shit, if one of them sells, we'll be right. No, this has got to be precise. We've got to nail it.
We'll all buy them. We'll all buy them and wander around with them on.
Look, we will. We will do this. We will. What is it? Sorry, just had something pop up. What we will do is we will have versions. So we'll have version 1 will be this t-shirt slogan, and then in about 6 months' time we'll have another one, and we'll evolve that way. That's like when I remember it was when we first got these jumpers made up, and all was going, oh, what about this, and this? I go, well, look, you know what? For our first, let's just do a really simple, basic design, and version 2.0, we'll build on that. We'll see what the community want and what resonates with people, what resonates with us, and then we'll just go, you can get.
I think anything that's a bit of fun that encourages people to connect with you. Like, so that's why I loved head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Like, people will be walking past, they'll be singing it, and then you've got that connection, then it starts a conversation. And I think anything that has a bit of fun and lightheartedness to it that people can link to. And I know myself, if I see a funny t-shirt, I will look at that person and go, I'll be like, yeah, that's great, love it.
Jen, I really do like that one. That we just had a caption this competition recently, and it was beautiful. And some of the quirky stuff that people come up with, it's just absolutely amazing. We had a couple that I wasn't allowed to actually. I'm going to be honest with you. It's the ones that you can't actually award and give a prize to are really the winners in my heart. And I can't mention.
I love the one that won it. I thought that was hilarious.
Yep. Slogan.
Avichka's singing it now. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes.
It is so catchy.
You could be all singing it as a group.
Yep. That is just absolutely brilliant. That is, I think I'm gonna. That's so, look. We had our basic one. Our main slogan is repeat the things that you love, which is you. Which is, that's all right. But the head, shoulders, knees, and toes, we got you covered.
Yeah.
Gotta say, ladies and
I
gentlemen,
was going to be impressed after this show. She's going to go, wow, that TNT crowd are pretty cool.
Look, we are cool. Seriously, we're a cool community. Seriously, all of you guys, mega cool. Let me just say that. Gilly's on board as well. G'day, Gilly. How are you?
Hey, Gilly. And Tash. Hey, Tash. Tash is singing it too.
And he's a mouth and nose. Yeah, that's the rest of the song. Tash, I don't think my t-shirts are going to be that big. Yeah, thanks, Avichka. Yeah, it's a great one. Repair the things you love. Yeah, that was our first ever slogan.
It is. It's beautiful. Yeah.
And the other one we've got is "You ain't broken, you just got to be repaired," because we believe that you know where that came from. Repair the things you love, which is you. What we identified really quickly as us as human beings, we're so quickly to heal and help others in their journey in life, but we never look after ourselves. And that repair the things that you love, which is you, was all about people giving themselves some self-love. That's where that came from. So I think it's an important message.
Susie's put there, no, I'm not seeing that.
Yeah, Susie goes, I'm not seeing that. Come on, Susie, you know you want to. You can't help it.
That's right. Well, this is the thing we all love. I like repair the things you love. I love that too. I think that's, but if you have that on a t-shirt, it doesn't create a lot of conversation around it, does it? Whereas something like the other, people will be walking past you singing it. They'll be, it's just like it creates momentum.
It puts a smile on your face. And the whole idea is what you're saying, Tonia, is then that it go, oh, that's funny. And that will stick. That will stick. Jen, we need a social media digital marketing expert. You've just been hired. You can start whenever you want, honestly. Like, just keep on cracking those lines for us. We'll be using you, don't you?
And you get paid in t-shirts, so it's all good.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to have an executive meeting today with my co-founder, Orla Cunningham. And if she, you know what the pass is, Tonia? If she giggles, it's going on. If it evokes a giggle, that's all we need. It's on.
Can you video that?
Sorry?
That's a TikTok moment. Can you video that?
Yeah, look, TikTok's interesting. I've been doing some research about that. We'll get onto that later. It is insane. It's very clever.
Yeah. TikTok,
the way it's come around. If you ever want to, if you ever listen to a podcast called Business Wars, which is a brilliant podcast if you haven't listened to it. So one of the latest ones I've listened to was Domino's Pizza versus Pizza Hut in America. And it just gives you the history between the two companies, how they were rival companies. It was first Pizza Hut and they owned it all. Then Domino's came out in the 70s and they were the first ones to come up with home delivery. It wasn't heard of in the 70s. Like, why would you buy that? And they took a big gamble. And it took a very, very long time for home delivery to take off, but they did it. And it's how it's like a moment where things have shifted, where now Domino's in America dominates the pizza industry because they're so up to date with all their home deliveries and their technology on their tracking systems and all that. And Pizza Hut's playing the catch-up game now. Great thing. But what they did have, if you're interested, it was TikTok versus Instagram. And that's quite interesting. And the difference between is TikTok's bloody clever. Chinese fella, genius, absolute genius. Just looked at algorithms and allowed algorithms dictate what was popular on TikTok, not what Facebook or Instagram was saying deemed popular. So they populate it. Just go, whatever got the longest stares, whatever got the more likes, whatever, that's what was really, really good little program if you're interested in that kind of stuff. Sorry to go.
And the interpretation's great. Like the way that it intuitively, it'll follow what you love and it just comes up. Is funny. Look, the only thing I think with TikTok now, some of them are too long, and don't give me part 1 and 2 and 3. Stuff that. Like,
not worth
it. Instant, quick, done, move on.
That's it. But the thing is, you've got to understand is too. This is really on a side note that all these social media platforms aren't gathering data off you. They are using everything that you put in to gather for artificial intelligence. Like let's not be fooled here. No. Now it really comes down to which beast do you feed? It doesn't really matter at the end of the day.
I don't think it does. I think they're all, it's like we can all say with Google, we look up, I might like to buy something. The next minute the ads are coming up everywhere for that product.
Like Knuckles, or maybe a spiky ball.
Yeah.
or maybe a
Absolutely.
cup. I feel like the dodgy
We
salesperson.
all want a T-shirt. We all want a T-shirt with knees and toes. Absolutely.
Yeah, look, I'm still a bit of a fan. I tell you what, Jen, you have just absolutely blown it out of the park today. You really have.
I like the
Eventually,
big
still
picture.
going on with that. You put your right foot in, you put your right foot out, go to the human repair shop, and then you can shake it all about.
Gold too. See, we're bringing the gold home here today. Well done, guys.
A Vichka, that would definitely be a coffee mug little thing. I would actually have that. That is very, very funny, Vichka. That's brilliant. Starbucks and fidget toys.
Fidget toys, the life.
What's that? You know that tin can, Sean? That's what's happening for me at the moment.
Fidget toys are the things for, like if you're suffering anxiety or, they have the fidget. I'm pretty sure.
So do you get them from Starbucks?
I don't know. Do you get?
So what do you get high on caffeine, get really anxious, and then wear the hell out of a fidget toy? You go.
That's right. You wouldn't need to go to Starbucks, Tony. You just have the fidget.
Sean, I think they've created the anxiety. No offense. After your third caramel grand latte, you'll be there.
All right. TikTok, the perfect ADHD entertainment tool. We're losing our capacity to focus beyond 3 minutes.
Do you know what you do, Susie? You bring up a very good point, and this is welcome to TNT Thursdays, where somebody like Susie drops the perfect conversation right at the end.
That's right. We're ready to go.
I could talk about this for 9 hours non-stop. This is the most interesting thing, and there's so much research, and we know it. About ADHD, about entertainment, about because the attention deficit hyperactive disorder, where we've got a capacity to focus beyond 3 minutes. Do you know what, Susie? Just to really tell you this, 3 minutes is a long time. We've really got an attention span of 15 seconds and less, to be quite honest. To be captivated apparently has to happen in the first 6 seconds. So it's really tough. And the problem is, we're overloaded. We're absolutely overloaded with stimuli at the moment. So if we're not getting it from, let's say, your TikTok feed, because that's boring, you flick it up to the next one. If TikTok's not working, go to Instagram. If Instagram's not working, go to YouTube. We are spoiled for choice now. And yeah, you're absolutely right, Susie. Great conversation. I'd love to explore that more, but we won't. Look at everybody's now commenting.
Well, that's for our next show, because we have run out of time, and as much as we would love to be here for another hour, time stands still for no one. And
you know what? It's like. Did you ever watch Umbrella Academy on Netflix? Great show for people who have seen it. But there's this one. They've all got these superpowers, blah blah blah. But one of them's got this thing where they can stuff with your mind, and the way they get your attention. This girl goes, I heard a rumor. And it's such a brilliant phrase, where I heard a rumor, because it sparks an interest straight away, right? And you go, oh, what's this? You want to know what the drama is.
Yep.
Susie, your last comment about the ADHD and attention span is like saying you're at a party and everybody's just about to leave. And then Susie goes, I heard a rumor. And then she just walks out the door. Leaves everybody in suspense.
I love it. All right, guys, we've got to wrap up. And thank you all for such a great show, as usual. A lot of fun. We will be, Tony, if you put up the website so that we can get our knuckles and spiky balls, that would be so cool. And
$12, $14.95, absolute bargain. You know what? It's like having a physio at home, but without the good old person saying, does that hurt? You know it hurts. Does it feel better after? That's what it is. Please,
all right, everyone. Thank you so much, guys. And we'll see you same time, same place. All going well next week. We're heading to Adelaide, but I'm going to try and work around our 9:30 schedule. So, yay.
See how you go, Ton. But people, thank you so much. Thank you for talking about dreams and animals and what they mean, and birds flying into windows. It's starting to work. If they're too clean, that's why birds will hit them. That's what I got. Great to have everybody. It's always a good laugh. Thanks so much, Tonia, for your energy, your time, and everybody else. Great comments. Can't wait for next week. Let's just fire it up. I'm pumped.
Boom.
Can't wait. Bye-bye.
Let's do it. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful week.